Oh, we just all say our names and we can't hear her.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, she can change the.
Larry here.
Nick here.
Audra? Michelle's here.
Roger here.
Michelle is here. Roxanne.
And just
And
to
just to
clarify,
clarify,
you read
read the
the
vote back out there.
Harrington, Mapes, not, Piccolo,
There's not one word that Sarah's saying that we can hear. Just for the record. Thanks, Michelle.
We'll get that mic on.
Sorry.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I have
Almond,
Harrington, Mapes,
Mapes,
Mott,
Mott,
Piccolo,
Piccolo,
Pitts,
Pitts,
and Stahl.
and Stahl.
Did I miss
Did I miss
anyone?
anyone?
All right.
Costanzo.
I'm here, but not important.
Okay.
Not you, Tony. That does take us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Say Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the
To the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that kind of worked. Next, we'll entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from March 11, 2020, which was a regular meeting.
So approved. So
Pitts,
moved.
And Nick and Roger. Here goes, so she can get everything documented properly here. Okay, that works, yeah. All right, so I'll do the roll calls from now on. So next thing is our agenda. We've got a couple of changes to the agenda. First up, we have, we want to remove resolutions item 1 and add, I guess it's 1, 2, or 1, 3, and 4. Is that under resolutions as well? Must be. Yes.
So moved.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's skip over that.
Okay,
Okay, so we need to go back. We did have a motion and support on the floor for the approval of the minutes. So
Right.
we're gonna take roll on that. Alman,
Yes.
Harrington,
yes.
Mott,
I wasn't there.
abstain then,
Yes.
Piccolo,
Yes.
Pitts,
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Perfect. Apologies. Thank you. Okay.
So
now we want to amend our agenda from the, under J resolutions, we want to remove item 1 and add items 1, 3, and 4. Anybody care to move?
So moved.
Support.
There got a motion and support. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none. Roll. Sarah's going to try it this time.
Stahl, Audra,
Can't hear.
Stahl,
Almond,
Yes.
Thank you. Harrington?
Yes.
Mapes?
Yes.
Mott?
Yes.
Piccolo?
Yes.
Pitts?
Yes.
And Audra?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
That motion is carried.
So
So down to hearing.
First up,
First up,
set a
set a public hearing
for
for Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, 6 PM, and soon thereafter, as the agenda allows, to consider Avalon Manufacturing Incorporated for a PA 198 industrial facilities tax exemption certificate. Entertained a motion to set that hearing. Roger, has a motion. Nicholas, seconds. Are there any
Greg,
comments or
you are
questions?
all muffled. Yes, Greg, you are all muffled again. And it's time lapse, so you're like delayed when you're talking. I don't know if you
Okay.
moved something, but it changed.
Is your other computer on?
Is
Is it better now?
Michelle?
Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, okay.
Must be the
Be the
second.
second machine. Okay.
So
So let me read that again then. First up was to set a public hearing for Tuesday, April 28th at 6 PM or as soon thereafter as the agenda allows, to consider a request from the Avalon and Tahoe Manufacturing Incorporated for a PA 198 industrial facilities tax exemption certificate. And we had a motion, I believe it was by Almond and seconded by Piccolo. And we're looking for comments or questions at this point. Hearing none or seeing nobody waving their flags here, we'll take a vote. They're gonna try, you want me to try a vote? Okay.
Mapes? Mott?
Yes.
Piccolo?
Yes.
Pitts?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Almond?
Roger, you're muted.
Thank you. Harrington?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is carried. Item number 2, I'd like to set a public hearing for Tuesday, April 28th
Yes.
at 2020 at 6 PM to consider the vacation of the north-south alley from the south right-of-way line of Hastings Street to the north right-of-way line of Downey Streets, all in Block 20 Original Town Plat, City of Elma, Gratiot County, Michigan. Publication of the resolution for vacating the alley will be printed in the Morning Sun for 4 weeks prior to the public hearing beginning March 27th, 2020.
Move approval.
Motion? We have a motion from Michelle, second from Larry.
Yes.
Comments or questions? Hearing no comments or questions, seeing nobody waving their hand, all those in favor? 0, I'll take roll.
Mott?
Aye.
Piccolo?
Yes.
Pitts?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Almond?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
Mapes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion is carried. Down to item 3, which is a public hearing to consider an application for an obsolete property rehabilitation exemption certificate for TK Bennett LLC at 110 East Superior Street. The purpose of this OPRA is to assist with the creation of a new commercial space in downtown Alma. The OPRA district was established January 28th, 2020. Eric, are you taking the lead on this? Okay.
So moved.
Sorry for how we're having to do this. I'll make this brief.
Can't hear Eric.
Can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Come on closer, Eric.
Can you hear me now?
They gotta crouch down too. You want to be in a chair.
I'll turn this mic.
I'll sit up here. About that.
I think we're good.
All right, so can you hear me now?
Kind of.
You're muted, yeah. You gotta unmute it.
Our second meeting will be better.
Well, we're
So we're setting the bar nice and low.
There we go.
Okay, here we go. Sorry about that.
That's right.
All right, as Greg mentioned, this is for 110 East Superior Street. The district was set, for the obsolete property exemption on January 28th. The reason it was found obsolete, the mechanical systems such as the plumbing, heating, and electrical, were in poor condition, along with the walls, floor, ceiling, windows, and doors. Also, the layout was an issue for barrier-free access. So all these things taken into consideration makes it inadequate for its highest and best use for the building. The interior portion of the building needs to go through undergo an extensive renovation to accommodate any new business. So tonight, the application has been submitted. That's in front of you to review and to make a judgment upon. TK Bennett LLC has submitted the application for the exemption. The project is estimated at $100,000, and it will create 2 jobs. And like we said, along with that, bring the building back up to a modern standard, not just on the interior, but they are going to be doing exterior work as well. So the building will be a whole new facade for the downtown area. So that's pretty much all I have to say, and Todd Bennett is on the line if you have any questions for him also.
Hey,
Point of order.
First question.
first question.
Do we have a motion and a second on this?
That's coming up later, I think, guys, as a resolution. I think right now we're in the
Public hearing.
I guess in the public hearing. We want to open that.
Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Did we make them?
We did not.
We did not. I'm sorry, I apologize, I missed that. So first of all, we'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
So moved.
Yeah, I think
I think that was Nick and then Alman.
Piccolo and Allen.
Yes.
All
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, Ryan.
Right.
We'll do quick for Roger.
Roger.
Yes.
Stahl?
All?
Greg, you are echoing again.
Yeah,
I can't hear you.
If it's me, yes. I can't tell if you said stall or what, but
Piccolo.
Piccolo, yes.
I think we have two minutes now. Harrington?
Harrington?
yes.
Mott?
There, better.
This is for the public hearing.
Yes.
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 Public hearing.
Pitts?
Pitts?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that was everyone? Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
My
My apologies on that.
That's what.
Okay, so we've already had the presentation.
Keep it legal.
Any questions
For
for Eric or Mr. Bennett?
What kind of business is planned?
It'll be a photography studio.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Anything
You'd like to add, Mr. Bennett?
No, it's actually going to be housing our daughter's photo business. Just finished her master's degree with a fine arts in photography. So it certainly should be more of an upscale sort of establishment. The building itself is going through a complete 100% renovation. The outside, I think, is going to look very good in the downtown from what's kind of been an eyesore for the last decade just because it's been empty. So I really got to beautify the downtown, and it's nice to see the activity that's down there with the college across the street at the Opera House. And for being a small town, we have a very robust downtown area, which I find great.
I would
I would agree, and thank you for your investment in the town, and great having your daughter back in town. I'm sure it is for you as well, so.
Absolutely.
And also nice to add to the artistic community in town, so. We've got a thriving arts community in this town. It's very nice to have.
Yeah, and I think she got a little spoiled. She finished her master's at Savannah College of Art and Design, and there's so many ideas that she has to integrate with like the Pine River Art Council and different groups and organizations. So it'll be more than just a studio and more than just those activities going on in there. So it's going to be very interesting to see how she integrates with, I would say, a very robust arts community.
Wonderful.
We're definitely looking forward to that.
She's very talented.
Thank you.
She's beautiful too.
Larry, you're biased.
But correct.
But correct, yes.
Okay, the rest of us aren't going there, so. All right, so we'll close the public hearing.
Hey, Greg, this is Tony.
Support.
Is the public, is there any way that the public could call in or whatever? Because you got to make sure there's no public comment as well.
5-second delay, so give it a little extra time.
We got a 5-second delay on this, so we're gonna have to give them extra time to call in. If any members of the public are watching and you'd like to call in and comment or have a question, please do so at this time. The number is 989-463-9529. Again, that's 989-463-9529.
Greg, also, so everybody knows, there was the announcement on our website also. Anybody can email me ahead of time, and I have not received any emails either.
Okay. Again, for public comments, if you want to call in, if anybody's watching, it's 463-9529, 989-463-9529.
While we're waiting, I don't know if you guys saw the CDC issued kind of guidelines today on what kind of jokes you can tell during this coronavirus outbreak. They have to be inside jokes.
You cut out at the wrong time. I didn't hear the punchline.
They have to be all inside jokes.
Very good.
Nice.
Don't encourage him.
I was going to ask you if you got that from his father-in-law.
Don't encourage him.
Okay, well, let's hear that we don't have any callers. Very busy line. Okay. So with that, entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Roxanne made the motion, Roger seconds. Okay, roll call. Sarah's catching up with us.
Thank you for your patience. Mott,
Yes.
Piccolo,
Yes.
Pitts,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Almond, Harrington,
Yes.
Mapes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Doesn't Larry have to abstain from that?
Not closing the meeting.
Oh.
I was just closing the hearing.
Gotcha.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate your investment downtown. So.
Great. Thank you, everybody. I'll hop off. I kind of want to join the next one just to see how much better you guys get at this.
We'll get another chance to let you know.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Thanks,
Much
Scott.
worse.
All right, we'll move on to recommendations on bids. And we have one consideration of a resolution to receive and award bids for the 2020 library parking lot project and to approve the corresponding request for purchase. The following bids we received March 18th, 2020. We had two bids for the asphalt. I assume this is sealing and striping. Is that correct? Okay. D&D asphalt for $6,604 and Yeager asphalt for $8,600. What is your pleasure?
Move approval on the recommended bids, please.
Support.
Motion support on the recommendation of D&D Asphalt, which was a $6,604 bid, lower two. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. Those in favor, we'll go to roll call for, so.
Mapes,
Yes.
Mott,
Yes.
Piccolo,
Yes.
Pitts,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion is passed. Thank you very much. Moving down to the resolutions. We'll start with the new resolution number one, which is consideration of resolution to approve the telecommuting policy. Which I believe.
Greg, your tunnel again.
Sorry,
Second. All right. Better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna move on to resolutions. Item number one, the new item number one is consideration of a resolution to approve the telecommuting policy that, everybody should have a copy of at this point.
Move approval.
Okay, Roxanne, you move. Roxanne,
Support Trumpet.
and I think Roger had his hand going there.
Yep.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Matt, do you want to give some highlights on this? Okay, you want me to mute? That's muted.
Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
telecommuting policy, obviously in the crisis that we're in, we have been thinning out the staff that's available here at City Hall. And so we've been working over the last week to set up so that folks can work from home, but we felt before we did that, we would have to have some guidelines by what we mean by work from home. And the policy covers everything from how we access, so we have secure access, all of the things that we do, plus other paid attendance, that we have an expectation that this is a work situation, not just being at home. All the responsibilities are listed, and actually we have a waiver that needs to be signed so that we all know exactly what everybody's doing. We're also call forwarding, so any of the calls that come through the office here will also come directly to you at home, and will be either through supervisor or myself will be checking in throughout the day. So just a product of where we're at right now.
Thank you.
Will you be closing the city hall then?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
We'll
you.
be closing the City Hall.
Yeah, City Hall is closed to the general public. There will generally be no more than 6 or 7 of us in the building at a time doing our, everything else is being handled by phone or email.
Good plan.
Anybody else have questions? Hearing and seeing. We'll call a vote. Sarah.
Piccolo,
Yes.
Pitts,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Mapes,
Yes.
Mott.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion is passed. So moving to item 2, consideration of the resolution authorizing the property rehabilitation certificate for TK Bennett LLC at 110 Superior Street.
Greg, mute the other one, please.
Oh, sorry, you're still on.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'll read that one again. We'll go to item number 2 under resolutions. Consideration of a resolution authorizing the obsolete property rehabilitation exemption certificate for TK Bennett LLC at 110 East Superior Street. At this point, we'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second by Piccolo. Comments or questions? Heard the story, so I think we're good there. Okay, hearing none. Those in favor, Sarah will take a roll.
Piccolo,
Yes.
Pitts,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Almond,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Mapes,
Yes.
Mott,
Abstain.
Okay. That motion passed. Moving to item 3. Item 3 is consideration of a resolution to amend the City of Alma Emergency Operations Plan to include a provision for emergency sick time in the event of a public health crisis. What time? Motion?
Motion.
Can we get the motion again? Who made the motion? Made the motion. Roger second. Okay, so we're gonna try the.
Mapes,
Guys, it's getting really staticky. We can't hear you.
Is your mic on?
Let me see something.
Did you just me?
Yeah, can you mute?
You're,
Can you
Sarah, you're
There you go.
on mute.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. There was something. Looks like we're good now.
Try to go again?
Mapes,
Yes.
Mott,
Yes.
Piccolo,
Yes.
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 Harrington.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion carried. Item 4, consideration of a resolution approving the establishment of procedures for employees' use of emergency sick time and accrued sick leave for the duration of the state of the emergency declared in response to the COVID-19 public health crisis.
Move approval.
Roxanne,
Support.
Michelle, did you support?
I did.
Okay, Roger did.
Yes.
Okay, now it's time for you. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, was there any discussion on this item? Any discussion on item 4? Matt, you want to take a little bit for it?
Yeah, I'll take, if you can mute, I'll take the explanation.
Okay, we need to stop the meeting, please. We need to stop the meeting. I can't hear one word that Greg is saying. It's all muffled.
Hey, how, do you have me right now, Michelle?
I can hear
Yeah, I
you,
can
Matt,
hear
but when
you,
Greg
Matt.
talks, it's like a tunnel and I can't understand.
Okay. We've got to get to the point where we only got one of them on here. So we'll have to signal with each other as to who's on, so we're not having more than one mic up here. We'll try that. Do you have me now?
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're coming clear, Matt.
Matt,
I have you, yes.
Okay.
Matt, can everybody mute except for the person talking? Because I keep getting a lot of background stuff.
Yeah. Why doesn't everybody mute? That'll work. Thank you. The employee emergency sick time policy really goes hand in hand with the, of taking the basic plan and adding in the emergency sick time, which you just approved in the policy change. The emergency sick time is in the event, and the reason we put it under the emergency operation policy or plan is that it truly has to do with a declared emergency by the state of Michigan having to do with public health. God forbid we're ever in this situation again and have to utilize this, but this will now be a part of the emergency operation plan for the city of Alma. But what this allows us to do then is for me to bring, or the city manager to bring forward to you a resolution of some of the specifics that we would do. And what I'm asking you to adopt is that based on the fact that you have adopted a sick time provision allowed in our policy, And whereas on March 10th, 2020, Governor Whitmer declared a state of emergency under Executive Order 2020-4 in response to the COVID public health crisis. And whereas we believe that as a city that it's important to meet the needs and understand the needs of our employees during this very, very difficult time, and I'm looking for you to resolve that we would adopt the following resolution under these provisions. Now, these provisions in your packet, I had given you in my newsletter some ideas about the law that was recently passed by the Congress, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. I'm using the same criteria of what I'm asking in this resolution that's actually in the FFCRA. And so that we would allow folks to use their accrued sick time if the employee is subject to a federal, state, or local quarantine or isolation order that's related to COVID. If the employee is advised by a healthcare provider to self-quarantine due to the COVID-19 virus. If the employee has experienced COVID-19 symptoms and is seeking medical care. If the employee is caring for an individual, but not limited to their family members, that's subject to a federal, state, or local quarantine or isolation order, or has been advised by a healthcare provider to self-quarantine due to COVID. Or last, if the employee is caring for their child, if the child's school or place of care has been closed, or the child's care provider is unavailable due to the public health emergency. It would be simple enough to say we're going to use the law, the FFCRA, but there are two things that I think are important. My mistake in first just presenting it to you in the newsletter is that the FFCRA is a law and not an order, which means it has timing factors. That law will not actually go into place until April 2nd. So there's a gap in time that we're looking at. Secondly, the FFCRA and the Employee Paid Sick Leave Act that's a part of that calls for family medical leave to kick in after the 80 hours that are given through the FFCRA. We will have employees that still have sick time. The 80 hours beyond that, they'll still have sick time to be able to use before their family medical leave would kick in. So I'd like to think that by passing this, we're covering both ends of this. Anybody who has any of these 5 issues prior to April 2nd, and anybody who has any of these issues after we've utilized the 80 hours that I'll get into a little bit more, and you may have more questions on what the FFCRA means for us, but this is a way for us to mirror really what the state of Michigan's policy is, and what they're doing is allowing folks to use sick time under these provisions, of which it would not normally be granted.
Okay. Who's off? Okay, can everybody hear me all right now?
Yes.
Yes. Outdoors.
Yes.
It's a quiet meeting. Who has the first question? Wave your hands. Nobody? Okay. Nice job. Thank you, Matt. And with that, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
We had a motion. Oh, we had a motion. I'm sorry.
Support.
We're ready for a roll call vote then. Sarah? You got your mic on?
I ended up with you again. Mapes?
Yes.
Mott?
Yes.
Piccolo?
Yes.
Pitts? Michelle?
She's muted.
Sorry, you're muted, Michelle.
I said yes.
Thank you. Stahl?
Yes.
You hear me?
Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
Almond?
Almond?
Yes.
And Harrington?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me now again. Oops, screen back. Other screen. Okay. So let's hear all of those. Moving down to reports. Commissioners may receive the following reports by one resolution, or a commissioner may remove any item from within the section for individual discussion and vote. We have 3 reports tonight. First is Elma Police Department's report for February 2020. The Elma Board of Review meeting minutes of March 3, March 17, and March 18th, 2020. And the city manager's report. Pleasure to receive or not. Pull any items.
Motion.
Roxanne, I saw. And Alman, Roger. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Seeing nothing, we'll roll Sarah.
Yeah, I'll give a, thank you. I'll give a brief update on where we're at. And the reality is most of where we're at right now, folks, is dealing with the COVID crisis. As you know, starting last week, all of our worlds really started to change drastically. Last Friday, we closed the Alma Public Library as things started to change. All programming and events were to cease until April 6th. That has all now been pushed out for another week at this point in time, as I'm sure you've seen. On March 16th, the Alma Transportation Center reduced their services to only what we call non-emergency medical transportation at that time. Also, the Mid-Michigan Medical Center requested from us a transit bus to be used as for triage at the hospital. That's still there. We've fulfilled that since then. Then on last Monday, a week ago, county declared their state of emergency. We did keep our doors open here at City Hall. Personally, I had a feeling that government operating as long as it could for the people was the right thing. And we eventually closed our service door here. People had to call in. So we did stay open with the building through until last Friday. The library started some other creative things that I thought were really good. Just trying to get people more involved. They were doing some curbside issues where people could call into the library and still get books, and we were able to maintain some of that. And that worked out well until the stay safe, stay at home provision that came out yesterday. And so now we've ceased that operation also. The philosophy that we've had here realistically is on our social media pages and on our website is we will continue to update folks on what's going on with the city of Alma. There's plenty of places to find the information out there. There's so many that I'm assuming all of your inboxes are constantly full. Every post on Facebook. We're limiting the idea that says, look, if it didn't come from the CDC or directly from the state of Michigan, Public Health Department, we're not passing that along. There are some other really good ones. If you look late last week and really Thursday, Friday, the updates and the decisions by the governor were coming almost every 10 minutes that caused us to adjust what we were doing. By Monday, one of the decisions that really had to be made after we had shut transit down was have 13 part-time transit drivers that we were in a position that had to make a decision. And I made the decision at that point that we were going to have to lay them off during this time. Thank you for the support. I called you. Never dreamed we'd be in this position. So some good news I can give you on transit. Just before we came here tonight, we are going to make some decisions to start doing some grocery pickups, some service for pharmacy pickups and things like that. Interesting that this morning I was notified that Walmart and Meijer have done a really good thing, it sounds like, to limit the folks coming into their businesses so that the elderly can come shop. The reality is, though, that's the population that we need, not all out there together and doing things. And they had over 500 people, is my understanding. Both places were pretty packed. So the timing of this is pretty good. Talk with Brett. We're going to get with Commission on Aging. We're going to try and see if we can't coordinate a whole lot of that. Plus, if it's busy enough of what we hope it would be, it can maybe get some people back to work here of helping us to get through that and really make sure that we do that. So I gave you the information on the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, which was passed by the Congress, that will go into effect. That's really those same 5 provisions that I've mentioned that we're going to use in our policy. What this does is it allows folks working to be given 80 hours of sick time that can be used for those 5 provisions. Those 80 hours are reimbursable to us through the federal government, and those 80 hours have to be used first. We can't hold those back and force them to use their sick time. But the policy you just approved and the resolution you approved helps us get through the gap time before April 2nd, plus allows us to handle it on the back end too. So thank you for that. And then the other major thing was what we're trying to accomplish here tonight was giving you the information on how we can do this meeting with us all of us being in a room. And I know this has been quite an adjustment for all of us tonight in doing this. I know you're all adjusting on a daily basis at your workplace. We're going through this every day. So I appreciate you going through this tonight, this little strange obstacle of what we're trying to get around. But I say hopefully we'll get better at it. Hopefully we don't have to keep doing it. That would be the best part, is that we're all back here doing that. So thank you very much for your support during this time.
Thank you, Matt. Does anybody have questions for Matt on his report? Okay, hearing none. Did we get a motion? We did motion. Okay. So now we'll have a roll call. So Sarah, you need to unmute. Yes.
Holman?
Yes.
Thank you. Harrington?
Yes.
Mapes?
Yes.
Mott?
Yes.
Piccolo?
Yes.
Pitts?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Thank you.
It was unanimous. Is the camera picking everything up? The sound okay on that? You're muted? Okay. So back to this. Next thing is we have appropriations. Someone here to make a motion to pay the bills?
Move to pay the bill.
I didn't catch it either. Who made the motion?
Piccolo. Mott.
Did we have
Piccolo.
support?
Mott. Larry. Larry supported.
Mott made the motion? Okay. So roll call?
Harrington?
Yes.
Mapes?
Yes.
Mott?
Yes.
Piccolo?
Yes.
Pitts?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
And Almond?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll move down to commissioner comments. One at a time here. Roxanne, would you like to go first?
Sure. Just thank you to everybody at City Hall for all you're doing. And Sarah, don't worry about this. You're doing great. Everybody stay safe. Take care. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Roxanne, I missed your comments. Could you restate that?
Sure. I was just saying thank you to everybody at City Hall for all your work, Matt and Sarah, Aaron for his help getting me on here. I appreciate it. Everybody stay safe and take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Roxanne. Audra.
Yeah, just, like Roxanne said, thank you to everybody. Our world has obviously changed pretty drastically in the last couple weeks. I just want to say, though, I had a phone conversation last week with Matt, and it was a great conversation. When I hung up the phone, I thought to myself, it's really great to have someone with the 25 plus years of law enforcement leading us in a calm, cool, collected way through this global pandemic. I never in my life thought that we would be in a crisis like this. I couldn't even really have dreamed it up if I had tried. And it's just, thank you, Matt, for your leadership and for getting us through all this. So appreciate you.
Very nice, Andrew. Next up is Roger.
That's kind of hard to top. Thank you to everybody. I know the job that everybody is doing down in City Hall has got to be terribly stressful as to not knowing whether you're going to have a job next week or what's going to happen. But I just appreciate everybody's work here on keeping this together. And thank you to everybody for getting this thing done. And I think it worked fairly well considering the few little glitches. We got a meeting done. So, and stay safe, everybody, please.
You're good.
Michelle.
Michelle.
I just wanted to remind everybody that we have a lot of local families that have storefronts and restaurants in town. We need to make sure we get the word out to get the takeout because a lot of families are affected by what's going on. And it's not just one person, it's whole families, but every person matters. So we just have to remember to get back out into our community and go to those family-owned businesses for food. And once the stores get up, we have to get back down and shop. Thanks, everybody.
Nick.
Nick.
Really not much to add. I think City Hall's done a great job. This has really been an interesting challenge and got it up kind of quickly with the technology and everything else. And it's nice to see everyone pitching in and just what Audra and Michelle both said in terms of supporting people downtown and the kind of probably a more calmer approach to this, which is what we need. So thanks.
Nick.
Larry.
Well, I just want to say we need to do what the people that's smarter than we are suggest. I've been homebound now for almost a week, and I think we just have to do what they tell us to do. And then I get probably 6 or 8 phone calls a day from my family checking on me. And if you have family, neighbors, call and check on them and make sure they're okay.
Most good advice there.
Okay.
Hey,
Sarah.
Comments?
No. Tony.
Tony?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate what everybody has said. I'm very proud of the city of Alma so far, and we're all in this together. We all have to stay safe. And when this is over, we got to have one of the biggest parties Alma's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, I agree with what Michelle said too. These local businesses they've had the courage to strike out on their own and do it. And I think if you can help, I think that's a great idea. Gift certificates probably a good idea. And when this is over, we've got to remember those folks.
Absolutely. Great excuse to eat out.
Not that I
need to eat out. Matt, is there anything further there?
I just want to add in, I couldn't be more proud of the staff of what they've accomplished in the last week. Nobody is prepared for something like this. You talk about normally you're supposed to, prepare, mitigate, you look through the things, that recovery portion and you get to go out and fix something. This is such a different thing that we're going through. Actually, today we even had some discussions of, we have to do our normal business. We have to continue to function here as government. And I think everybody needs to know we are here, we are working. One of the biggest issues that I think everybody needs to understand is that, and I truly believe this, all the staff that we still have working here are essential to where we're going. We still have to do all of those things that we do when there's not an emergency going on. And so the way everybody has taken to this and really done a great job of communicating with staff, in each other, within departments, will be essential as we go forward. I'd like to add that a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that people don't know. The Gratiot EOC has been open now for 10 days, and they are doing a fantastic job. I would tell some of you folks out there that are volunteering to help, thank you so much. Please make a call to the EOC so that it can be communicated out and so that we're not duplicating efforts and we're not doing stuff like that. So, uncharted waters, folks, and just keep doing what we're doing and making good decisions. Thanks for your support.
Hey, excellent. It's gonna be hard to top that. I'll try. I do want to add my thanks to everybody, commission, staff, and the community as a whole. I think everybody really is pulling together on this in an unbelievable way. We're not leading the world on anything here, but we are taking care of our own world and our own citizens the best we can. And I think at this point, we're doing a very good job. And hopefully that continues. Appreciation to the staff and everybody that's involved. So with that, we can open it up to public comments. If anyone would like to call in, the number again is 989-463-9529. So this is for public comments. If anyone is going to call in at 989-463-9529. And still no emails coming in. So everybody is really preoccupied, I'm sure. So understandable why we're not hearing a lot of action on this. And that's really good news. I mean, it speaks well of the staff and commission and everybody that things are going well, because rest assured, we'd all be hearing it if things were not going well. If the water wasn't flowing and the sewers weren't working, then we'd have some calls and we'd have some emails. So kudos to everyone keeping things going. So one last time at 989-463-9529. Expect to hear nothing. Probably don't. So with that, we can entertain a motion to adjourn. Anyone so inclined?
So moved.
Roxanne?
Support.
And Nicholas. Hey, Sarah, do you want to do the roll call?
Yes.
Roxanne?
Larry?
Sorry.
Are you still with us, Larry?
Yes.
Okay. How's your vote?
Sarah is muted.
Yes.
Thank you.
Piccolo?
Piccolo?
Yes.
Fitz?
Yes.
Dahl?
Yes.
Hellman? Harrington?
Yes.
And Mapes?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
That concludes our meeting. Yeah, looks like we finally got it right for the very end there. So,
Can we go home now?
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening. Stay safe.